All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Sir Links-a-Lot live stream. It is me again today, just me, no Nick, here to answer all of your SEO questions. I don't even know if the stream is really working. Let's see if things are working here. Give me 1 second, just waiting for the stream to load. There we go. Looks like it's loading just fine. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get to answering questions. If you guys got any questions at all, go ahead and drop them in the chat and I will get to them in order. Yeah. And I've got a little backlog here. So, yeah, if it's a slow stream, it's kind of a random day, random time, then I'll just answer some questions and then take off early. All right. We'll start with website audit. Let me get this pulled up in Ahrefs for you guys so you have something to look at while I'm talking. One moment. There we go. Still learning how to use the Mac for all this kind of random stuff. All right. And let's see what they say about it. Sorry, just give me 1 sec. All right. Dropped from the SERP from first page to about results on 80 plus on Google Search Console. What I did, I run a WordPress plugin, WP Automatic, scraped content from websites and put on my blog. However, recently I've been following Chris and have used ChatGPT, Reddit, and generating some content that I add my own vision to those posts. I've done 2 posts a week on average for about 3 weeks. Rewrite old posts and adding new information and photos. At the initial drop, my keywords dropped to about 40s on page 5 of the SERP. And just recently, end of July, now to 80s, page 9. All right, so yeah, it looks like you're doing a bunch of like content automation stuff. So I feel like we probably know what the problem is going to be. But yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look and see what we can find here for you. All right, so yeah, I'm not going to be able to show you guys the website, of course, but I just want to take a quick look. So yeah, it does look like a local company. Website looks pretty like old school. Not that that really matters, but for the homepage is basically a blog article. The homepage has a table of contents on it. Not really sure what you're doing with this, but you're probably going to want to change that. Yeah, I would go look at other websites that are similar to yours that have the same kind of service and just look what their homepage looks like compared to yours. And I think you'll see it's going to be a kind of different. I mean, you have some other stuff like you have like your services, your contact form and whatnot. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be a little rough. Let's see what H structure, H tags look like. All right, actually using H tags, not really the worst thing in the world. But yeah, that table of contents on the homepage is definitely a weird one. Check out the blog. Okay, so AI images. Yeah, kind of walls of text, AI images. Let's see here. Let's see how big this site is, how many pages you got on it. Okay, 1,650 pages. I wonder how much of that is the from the blog. Let's see if we can find this sitemap real quick. Okay, sitemap 1. Take a quick look. Not really showing all the pages here. I wonder what's pulling all of those pages. But anyway, Go back to Google. Let's see here. Probably a bunch of tags, tag pages, category pages. So yeah, you might want to clean that up and make sure you don't have a bunch of stuff getting indexed that you don't want to get indexed, like your tag pages and whatnot. But yeah, kind of hard to audit this stuff. I'm trying to only spend like 5 minutes on it on a live stream. The blog content itself also, yeah, looks like, pretty generic stuff, walls of text, AI content. I'm not going to be able to analyze your content on the live stream like this just because it takes a lot more time to audit content than it does, for example, something like backlinks. I can analyze backlinks really quickly. But I feel like you kind of already know what your problem is. And just taking a quick look at the site, I'm kind of like seeing kind of what I expect from, auto-generated scraped kind of content thing going on. Also important to note that, when Google looks at your website, when it's trying to, or at least what they say they're doing when they're determining if it's quality content or not, they look at the website as a whole and they take like a random sampling of pages. So if you have a large percentage of pages that it thinks are kind of like scraped, random, generic AI content, there's a chance they could hit you for that. Even if you're going around and you're improving some of your articles, they look at kind of like maybe like percentage, like what percentage of your website is like kind of just generic stuff. Another thing I would like to mention is that you are a local service-based website, and it's like you're trying to pursue the same strategies for your local business that like an informational content blog that's monetized with ads or affiliate revenue would monetize. I know some people like to do this, but every time that I've seen people doing this where they write like just this very like informational content on a local service website, I feel like it doesn't work out very well. So anyway, I prefer just a much smaller local website, your service pages, your location pages, about us, all that stuff. And then from there, if you want to do blog content, I would make it like blog content that's like both niche relevant and location relevant. So, writing blog, you could do like blog post about, some events you did in Houston and whatnot. You can mention venue names, whatever. I feel like doing things this way, that's, niche and location relevance, than just like an informational blog makes a lot more sense. So yeah, you could try that out. As far as your traffic goes, yeah, it looks like you got up to like 800 traffic, then back down to pretty much zero. Let's see what you got hit. You got hit by May core update 2022. Then it kind of went back up, and then you got hit again. Helpful content update. And you got hit by, what is this? March core update again. So yeah, I mean, you're getting hit by the updates that were hitting people for basically generic kind of spam content type situations that were hitting a lot of what people call like content sites. So I would definitely be looking at your content. I'll look at backlinks real quick. Look at your link building real quick. You got 147 referring domains, DR15. So not a very powerful site, but it kind of seems like it matches, right? 147 referring domains for DR15. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at your backlinks just to kind of see relevance. Yep, looks pretty relevant to me. Let me just do a quick filter for traffic. So then, yeah, only 38 of your links, 38 of 160 have more than 250 traffic on the domain. Yeah, it looks like some nice like local blogs in here. I feel like your link building is not a problem. It's probably missing a little bit of like power. You could build some like link insertions or guest posts to your homepage with just some very natural anchors. But the good news is your backlink profile looks pretty natural and like relevant. Let's look at anchor text real quick. Anchor text looking slightly unnatural from some of the stuff that was built. Let's go ahead and do a little filter here as well. Domain traffic from 250, very low bar. Okay, so when we filter out kind of like these spammy websites, your anchor text actually looks pretty natural as well. So anyway, I don't think your link building is a problem. Link building looks pretty relevant and natural. I would focus mainly on your website, focus on this content. You might want to consider just removing a lot of this like spammy blog content you did. It's like you've got like 35, pages of scraped or AI content 35. What, I don't know how many blog posts are on each one of these pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, I've got like at least like 350 blog posts or so. I would consider removing a good amount of those, get them off your website. You know, you're getting no traffic anyway. Get all the auto-generated crap off your website. Start focusing on niche and location relevance for your blog posts and focusing on quality and kind of go from there. But you know, you might actually see some decent results just from removing a lot of this blog content from your website. I want to see one more thing. I want to see like what keywords you were actually ranking for. Let's go like April 2022 for a good little check. One moment, please. Custom date. All right. Not working. Was that previous 2 years, whatever. Yeah, so you were ranking for some of this like random stuff. Oh no, you were like ranking for some local stuff as well. Yeah. Maybe not really so much for like page 1 rankings, at least that I'm seeing. Oh, you were ranking for some stuff. Yeah, I would consider just removing all the spammy content off your website and going from there and just adding some like decent blog content. But yeah, sorry I can't do a little bit more of an in-depth analysis, but kind of taking a little bit of a longer time to do these kind of audits on stream. All right, let's get this up. Hopefully that helps. What's going on, guys? Got any questions at all? Go ahead and drop them in the chat. Might be a short stream today because, yeah, kind of random day, random time, like usual these days. Just super random. But yeah, got any questions at all? Go ahead and drop them in the chat and I will get to them. The problem I'm facing at the moment is that when I started keyword research for the site, I found so few keywords with the max volume of 30 in SEMrush. What do you guys do when faced with the situation like this, i.e. working in low volume niches? I'm a beginner and it's my first project. I really appreciate your guidance on this. Yeah, so, you know, if the niche is low volume, the niche is low volume. There's not really anything you can do about it. You know, maybe when you're looking at like other people talking about SEO, they're like, oh, I have 1K traffic or 5K, 10K, 100K, whatever. And you're thinking, oh, well, I don't have that much, so I'm not doing SEO right. But that's really not the case. You know, everything is always relative. So there are certain niches where the search volume is just not there. You know, it's, you know, but each one of these clicks, each person, the customers could be worth a lot more than, you know, for example, someone who's posting content that's like, what's the coolest white bird in southern Texas? You know, people making these stupid AI spam content websites trying to like scrape like pennies of ad revenue off of this stuff. So yeah, you know, anyway, so, you know, you don't have to worry about just traffic just for the sake of traffic. If that's what the keyword volume is for your keywords, that's just what it is. However, you know, if you are a beginner, like I guess you probably are, there's a good chance that you are looking at just very specific keywords and that you could kind of branch out and do other things as well. So like maybe your low volume stuff is like your buyer intent keyword. So let's say I have a, you know, I'll do our link building agency, for example. So it could be something like buy guest post or like, you know, guest posting service or link building agency. You know, these are all kind of like our main, more like buyer intent keywords. When people are looking for these keywords, they're probably pretty close to making a purchase. But then you could go up the funnel, they call it, and you could do, you know, middle of the funnel content and top of the funnel content. Top of the funnel content is more like informational keywords. So it could be like, you know, what is link building? Or I could even go broader than that and be like, what is SEO or what is digital marketing or, you know, just these very informational keywords where they're not looking to make any kind of purchase anytime soon, but you're writing a bunch of articles around this topic, and then you can try to funnel them to your pages that actually make money. Um, but yeah, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what you're doing without having an idea of actually saying the keywords and stuff. But I would guess it's probably one of those two things. Hopefully that helps. What's going on, Rolo? How you doing, man? Are you in Chiang Mai, Rolo? I've been back in Texas now for like maybe 3 weeks or something, and yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to get back out to the Southeast Asia, but it's still gonna be a while. Probably won't get to Chiang Mai till like early November. Local SEO question service. I live in city A and want to show up on the SERP for city B 10 to 30 miles away. I visit city B 10 times a year. Should I create a different post every time sorry, I got a two-part question here. Let's get the rest of this question up there. Or one long post adding to it every time. If I do create different posts, how do I link them? I also have City B page on my main website as well as post every time I visit City B. Yeah, I'm kind of confused by your question. Not gonna lie, DJ Francisco Perez. Local SEO service, I'll City A on show notes. For City B. So yeah, I'm not really sure what you're doing, but if you're trying to show up in like maps, you're probably going to need like another like GMB, because you need these GMBs, and the way GMB works is pretty much like proximity. So you only have one GMB for your map and you're in some other city and you want to show up on the other one, I feel like they used to be able to do this a long time ago. But now Google has like weighted proximity a lot more heavily, so it's just probably like not possible. Even if it's like much closer than that, it like could still not be possible. They really just heavily weight proximity. It's like all like proximity and reviews pretty much. But if you're just talking about other stuff, like not maps, then you could create, I guess you're talking about service pages, then you could create service pages for the other locations. So for example, let's talk about like Houston. So let's like, our Houston catering service. Then you could create another service page for, Dallas catering service or whatever other city. You just have that name in the URL and the H1. All your on-page SEO is based around that other location rather than trying to rank it all from the one, right? And so I'm guessing, yeah, if it's like 10 to 30 miles away, another location page would probably be the way to go, especially if people, really like use these different location names. It's really hard to tell without having a specific example, but I feel like we're on the right path here. I'm not really sure what you're talking about. If I create different posts, maybe you mean like pages. Posts are generally like blog content, so kind of stuff like people use, for random stuff like informational content and stuff like that. If you're talking about service pages, I guess it doesn't really matter. It could technically be a blog post as well, but we think about them as pages. Says I have that, and I also post blog posts on my blog every time I visit. Yeah, you could, but also probably not necessary. It sounds like you might be a little bit like confused about stuff. If I were you, I would look up some of your big competitors. Look up your competitors for people that are ranking like number one for your service keywords and stuff, and see what they're doing. And I think there's a high chance that they're not going to be making like random blog posts every time they visit another city or something like that. So what I would do is just set up different like service pages for each location. It'd be better if you had the GMB, because a lot of people just look at the maps up at the top. So if you could get a GMB for the other locations, that would be the best thing to do, but not always possible. And yeah, as far as creating like blog posts every time you do something in a different place, probably not the way. I mean, I guess it could be if you go over there and you do like an event or something and you make a blog post like, oh, here's the event we did in this city. That could be a thing. Yeah, so maybe we're talking about the same thing here. But yeah, I'm not really sure. If you have any other follow-up questions, DJ Francisco Perez, let me know, man. Hopefully that helps. Online Business Pioneer says, dude, you guys are geniuses. Been watching your stuff for a while. Me and Nick are definitely not geniuses, but I will take these kind words from you, man. No, we're not geniuses. We've just been doing SEO for a while and managed to make enough mistakes that we learned how to rank stuff. But yeah, I appreciate the kind words though. If you guys got any questions at all, go ahead and drop them in the chat and we'll get to them. Otherwise, I'm going to be talking about some random stuff we got here in the questions from before. Ooh, I made it really small, but oh well. Have a question about getting guest posts for boosting SEO to our clinic. Also, I am also a beginner with SEO, so I'm asking weird questions, blah, blah, blah. I was looking at where similar but larger clinics have links from and stumbled across this health blog that had linked to them in the article. I reached out to pitch a guest post and they wanted $35 to post the article. I understand that Google does not want you to buy links, but I also heard a lot of guest posts will charge money. Is this pretty standard practice or white hat, or you just never buy links? Should I pursue these opportunities? Yeah, so, okay. First of all, it's cool that, it sounds like you're doing competitor research and, looking up where your competitors got backlinks and trying to build links from there. So that's definitely a good place to start. I like that you're doing that. $35 for a guest post is quite cheap. Which would make me definitely want to look into it a little bit further, try to gauge the quality of the website, make sure it's not a guest post farm, make sure they're not like spamming AI content, pull them up in Ahrefs, look at their keywords, see if they're actually ranking for anything that's like related to your niche or whatever. And it's not just all like branded searches or like random keywords or something like that. Yeah, I don't think I said this already, but make sure they don't have anything like a Write For Us page on their blog where it says like, hey, we're selling guest posts, stuff like that. You definitely want to stay away from all of these things if they are there, because it's just not worth the time and the money, and can create a footprint showing Google that you're basically buying links. However, if you check most of those things and the site looks healthy, it's not got any huge, large declines in traffic. They don't say that they're selling links and they're actually ranking for some keywords, etc. Then yeah, $35 could be a steal, right? The thing about white hat link building is that everyone considers different things, white hat and black hat, whatever. There's some people who say that building any kind of backlink ever, even if you're not paying for it, if you're building the backlink because you want your rankings to go up, it's technically black hat, which I guess is true. But the thing is that everyone builds links. We've got a link building agency over at sirlinksalot.co, and the people that are buying links range from people who are living in their mom's basement with an affiliate blog to Fortune 500 companies that the names of. And so basically everyone's doing this. And if you do things in a way where you're covering footprints, you're not writing on websites that say, hey, we're selling links, that websites that have established patterns of link selling, then everything is good to go. It's extremely hard to determine if a website is selling links for sure, especially if they just don't say, hey, we're selling links, because they could go link to anyone they want to, and Google can't stop a website from doing that. So unless they're doing something pretty weird or just really low effort or bad, then you don't need to worry about it. And I guess to answer your other question, yes, in 2024, when you're doing link building outreach, the large majority of websites will ask for payment. That's just the way things are. They get hundreds of emails like this every week or whatever. And so by now they've realized that these things are valuable, and links are extremely valuable, right? And so you can get links for free. And I've actually got some videos on my YouTube channel about getting free backlinks. There's a bunch of methods you can go about doing this, but the chances of getting them are a lot lower. And yeah, you should expect to pay some money, and set that as kind of like the baseline when you're doing outreach. But can get quality links for free as well. What do I got for you guys? What do we got on sale? Oh yeah, we got press releases on sale this month. Press 10 to get 10% off. Press releases, you get like between 50 and 150, maybe even more indexed links. They're no follow. It's like a foundational link building thing. You don't want to spam press releases. You can just like do one every now and then. But like great foundational link building coming from like news websites, 10% off. press 10, ladies and gentlemen. Any questions at all, ask them in the chat. Looks like today's going to be a slow stream day. I got some more questions here in the backlog, but if I run out of questions, I'm going to take off, guys. I already made a different YouTube video today, so I'm actually kind of tired of talking. I'm an introvert. So our website uses Wix. I have heard Wix is terrible for SEO and should use WordPress, but I have also heard others say it does not matter. How critical is this? Is it worth rebuilding the site on WordPress, or are the potential benefits negligent? I write blogs about health-related topics with decent traffic and low KD. All right, so let me answer the first part first. So Wix, should you change from Wix? I'm pretty sure this guy has like a local clinic type thing. So the thing about Wix is everything is just easier on WordPress as far as doing SEO. But, what I don't want to advise you do is like to change over to WordPress if you have like no idea what you're doing and you don't really have the time to learn it. And then you end up like making this mess where you like try to do something and you make everything worse, right? So it's kind of hard to like give this advice. But if it was me, what I would do is I would get it off of Wix immediately and rebuild it on the WordPress page for page, like an exact migration. I think it's gotten actually easier to do migrations and stuff these days. You could even go into like Fiverr and look up like Wix to WordPress like services. You probably get someone to do it pretty cheap, honestly. But yeah, I'd want to get it onto WordPress. It just will make sure that you don't have any kind of like weird problems and you can do everything you need to do easily as far as SEO goes without having any like weird like workarounds or whatever. So I write blogs about health related topics with decent traffic and low KD. I'll look up what ranks for my keyword and write something better, more recent and relevant. I'm not sure if Google sees it that way, but even if the content may be better, what do I need to be doing after I post the blog? So I'm also going to give the advice that I gave on the last one is if you're a local based business and you're just like starting to write like random like informational posts, I would kind of, I don't really like doing this. I've just seen so many sites that do this and it's like Google gets confused what the site is and then they end up having a hard time ranking for their local terms. Anyone that if you're watching this video and you have a good example of local service-based blogs, have actual physical locations where they're doing business, and then they are writing informational blog content and they are ranking well for their local terms and the info content, drop it in the comments or whatever. I want to see it. But in general, I've just seen this many times where it's like you're trying to mix like two different kinds of SEO really. It's like you're doing like an ads-based affiliate kind of website or whatever. But yeah, in general, after you write your blog post, you need to make sure you're doing your on-page SEO. Things like having keyword in your URL, title, H1, H2s, whatever, all that stuff. You need to make sure that the content is covering the topic fully. You can use a tool like Surfer or Neuron to help with this. Making sure you're like getting all like, the topics and little entities or whatever other keywords you want to call them in there. And then, you're going to need backlinks to rank stuff. So you don't have to build backlinks to the pages, directly. We're very, strong on homepage link building. We like to build a lot of backlinks to the homepage, natural anchors, branded URL, generic anchors, all to your homepage. This raises the authority of your website overall and will help every article, every page on your website rank more. And it's more natural and safer to do. You can also send some backlinks to the individual pages. However, I would be careful with that because a lot of people, they just want to slam links to their inner pages. They end up getting in trouble, creating like an unnatural link building pattern. They build like way too many links to these pages. So like all the competitors only have like 1 or 2 links going to the page. And theirs will have like 20 with a bunch of like exact match anchors. And Google's just like, nah, you're not going to rank for this ever because you're doing all this weird stuff. Google, if all your competitors are only getting 1 or 2 links to that blog post on that keyword and you build way more, just not natural. This is not a type of content or keyword or whatever that people have any interest in linking to, and you've made yourself an outlier and stick out by showing Google that you're doing something way weirder than everyone else, and probably some link building that you're doing, right? So anyway, check out your competitors. You can build links to inner pages. You can use exact match anchors. Just be careful with it. Be natural, and most of your link building should be homepage and like stuff like hub pages or Linkbait articles, stuff like that. How important are blogs for SEO and how does it compare to spending time building backlinks? Both are extremely important. Content and backlinks are both extremely important. One's not more important than the other. You need to do all the stuff these days. SEO has changed. You can't just put all your eggs in one basket. You got to do all the stuff. But like I mentioned before, I would check out some of your competitors, see if any of the people who are actually ranking like number one and number two are doing blog posts like you are. My guess is that they aren't going to be doing that. They are not. And that you'd be better off if you are going to use your blog doing stuff that has like niche relevance and location relevance, like I was telling the guy on the previous question. Stuff about whatever your clinic is. I can't remember. So let's say it's like pets in Houston. So your articles could be something about that has to do with like pets in Houston, like the number of lost dogs this year in Houston is up 200%, just stuff like that, rather than like, how do you clean a dog's tail or like something, it just doesn't make sense for your business to have that kind of stuff. So yeah, just keep in mind like what your business is, like what the goal of your business is, and write stuff that like makes sense for your business to post, rather than trying to do like quote SEO and like making like an informational like content website instead of a local blog. Hopefully that helps. All right. Let's see what we got up in here. You are welcome, Mr. DJ Francisco. Any questions at all, guys? Drop them in the chat. Do you know anything about buying reviews, such as Yelp reviews, Google My Business reviews, and or Better Business Bureau reviews? I see a lot of people doing this. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to give the best advice on this, but I'll try to give you my answer. The thing with reviews is Google has gotten a lot better at filtering out like fake reviews. If you're on another platform that's not Google, it's probably easier. Yelp, it's been such a long time since I worked with a local company. I think Yelp, if I remember, is pretty good at like determining if a review is like fake or not, and like chopping off like the ones they think are fake too. I know that people probably still do buy reviews, and you could give it a go. See, I'm not advising that you buy fake reviews. Google, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but okay. What I'll say instead is that I know that some people do buy fake reviews, and I'm pretty sure that it can work. You're just gonna have to try to find a provider that actually works, right? Because I think Google's got pretty good at just not letting a lot of the bad ones work. But aside from that, is what you should be doing as far as like your business goes is, or even if you're doing SEO, if you're like an agency or whatever, and you're helping out a local business, is convince the business, or if it's your whatever, get them to start doing reviews, like integrate it into their process to where it's a main part of their process. Whatever, let's say they're a car wash, you wash the car, they're checking out or whatever, give them a little card or whatever that says, hey, leave us a review and we'll give you 15-20% off, whatever, 10% off your next purchase. And when you do stuff like this, they're going to be incentivized to leave you a good review, because like, hey, I'm getting a discount, I had a good experience here, whatever. Just like make getting reviews like a key part of your process. They're so important for local SEO, so you really can't avoid not to do that. So yeah, you could try buying some fake reviews, but there's a good chance that a lot of that money will end up being wasted, or Google might even know they're all fake, or maybe they even like suspect you of doing some weird stuff, and I don't know, give you kind of like a little algorithmic slap or something. I really have no idea how it works with local these days, if they can even do that, like a GMB penalty or something. But anyway, I'd be careful buying fake reviews, and I'd try to just like integrate it as part of like your business or whatever. Things used to be just a lot easier. Like we even used to sell a while back. We used to sell like GMB like verifications. You could get like anything verified, anything, anywhere, just and they stuck. It was so easy. Reviews, GMB verification, but like these days, it's like Google's just doing a much better job. So don't think I'm coming from this from like a super like white hat perspective. Like me and Nick definitely have a black hat. We used to be a lot more like black hat than we are now. Now we're more like gray / white, not even a white hat, but more conservative. We're not doing like auto generated spam or a bunch of like kind of more black hat stuff that some people are still doing. I'll expand on my question. The 10 blog posts that I have, do I link them together or all 10 point to my service page for city B best practice? Yeah, so you could just Google something like internal linking. So the word you're looking for is internal linking. So you can look up like internal linking best practices. I'll give you a little like rundown right here. In general, what you're doing with your internal linking is linking to pages that make sense to be linked to. Especially as a beginner, like don't try to do anything weird where you're just trying to like jam internal links to everything that makes no sense at all. Just think about it. Like you're writing a blog post about you did an event in Houston, let's say. Link to things from that article that actually make sense. Like, so you could link to your service page, of course. Linking to your important service pages will always make sense. And you'll probably do that from at least you'll link to this at least one service page, right? Whatever service that you have, maybe you have multiple services, you'll probably always link to at least one of your service pages that makes the most sense. Because that's really, you're trying to drive traffic anyway, right? What you want to avoid is, let's say you have like 20 service pages. You don't try to like jam like 20 internal links going to all your different service pages in there, unless it's a really long article, because it's just going to look spammy, right? Just think if you're like someone, a person, a human, and you came onto your website, onto one of your blog posts, you saw the blog post and it's just littered with spam links everywhere. It looks like a hacked website. They're not going to trust it. They're not going to trust it. It doesn't look good. It makes everything hard to read. It's not good for anything. You're not helping yourself by doing stuff like that. So my best advice is just try to link naturally. And that could be to service pages, and it could also be to other blog posts that make sense. So let's say you were doing a wedding in Houston or whatever. You could say, link to your service page, our wedding services page, whatever, and then maybe somewhere in the blog article or so, and last year we had a wedding in, I don't know, Beaumont or whatever. And if you could naturally include links to some of your other blog posts, or maybe add some informational posts as well. I'm not really sure what kind of blog posts you have, but yeah, just link to stuff that makes sense naturally, right? You could use ChatGPT to help with this. You could feed ChatGPT, copy and paste your sitemap with all your URLs on your website into ChatGPT. Say, hey, I just wrote a new article. Here's the title of the new article. Out of all the pages on my website, which of these are the most relevant that would make sense to send an internal link to? And ChatGPT could give you some suggestions saying, oh, these kind of look like they're closely related. And so these closely related ones could make sense to link to. And then you could also paste in your entire article and say, where should I link to from my article? And ChatGPT can say, oh, here's a good spot that would make sense to link to it from here. So yeah, you can use ChatGPT to help. There's stuff like Link Whisper, like automated internal link plugins as well. But honestly, I don't use them at all anymore. The only real situation I could see myself using a plugin like that again is if I was doing like a website that had a bunch of like low quality like AI spam content on it. Because if it's anything other than that, actually doing it yourself is a lot more powerful than kind of these crappy suggestions. It's just not perfect. It can kind of like put you on the right path or whatever, but they're not, the plugins aren't perfect, right? Yeah, hopefully that helps. Any questions at all, guys? Drop them in the chat. Looks like I'm going to be around for 22 more minutes. Again, we got press releases on sale this month. Press 10% off press releases, 50 to 100 indexed, no follow links usually on news websites. My favorite type of foundational link, actually. And we got some of the cheapest ones on the market, if I'm being real about it. What am I looking for? Here we go. Trying to understand PBNs built with various expired domains. I have heard various opinions on how well they work. Number one, is Google able to tell if you're using the domain for a PBN? Two, if you buy an expired domain and make it look like a real blog, do the backlinks help to increase the website authority link to it? And three, does the expired domain need to match the subject of the website you're providing backlinks to? All right, let's answer these in order. Number one, is Google able to tell if you're using the domain for a PBN? If you are following PBN kind of like best practices, then no. Or link building best practices in general. If you've got a website with 200 referring domains and you've got 100 PBN links pointing to it, then having another PBN link, Google could start to catch on. You're creating a huge footprint here that make up way too much of your backlink profile, and Google's going to start scrutinizing you because things start to look strange, right? But if you're talking about, you have a website, you have 100 referring domains, and you buy an expired domain, you turn it into a PBN, you're sending one link to your website. If you're on different hosting than your main website, whatever, you're following PBN best practices. You can check up Sir Links a lot, PBN checklist. We've got something you can follow in there to make sure you're doing all the basics correctly. If you're doing all the basics correctly, which are honestly not hard to do, you don't really have anything to worry about. But yeah, like I said, if you're building 10, 20 PBNs, things can start to look unnatural depending on how big your backlink profile is, because then you're gonna have a high percentage of what are essentially homepage backlinks, backlinks coming from PBN websites homepages, rebuilt expired domains. Content's going to be pretty low end if it's a PBN. So yeah, you're going to start establishing a footprint if you do stuff like that. 2, if you buy an expired domain and make it look like a real blog, do the backlinks help increase the website's authority you link it to? Yeah, so that's the whole point of a PBN, right? So you're repurposing, you're going to buy an expired domain, but just because the domain expired and just because the website is down doesn't mean it loses all the backlinks. All these other websites that linked to it in the past, they haven't changed their content. So it still has, all of these backlinks are still pointing to the domain. So you buy the domain, you rebuild the domain. Now you need to rebuild all of the pages on the domain, like the exact URLs that had links going to them, or at least all the ones that you want to save, right? So you're going to rebuild those pages. Pages that you don't rebuild, you could also 301 redirect to the PBN site's homepage. And then you've saved all of that link juice, because all of those links now have something to point to. You rebuilt the pages. Then when you link out from that website, all of the link juice, or at least some, you'll get a benefit of a website that has all of those backlinks. It's not the same thing as doing a 301 redirect, right? Where you're actually sending all of the backlinks to the new website. So that could be something you consider as well. And 3, does the expired domain need to match the subject of the website you're providing backlinks to? It works the same way for PBNs as it does for any other type of backlink, and that is that you want your backlinks to be relevant. But that doesn't mean that the domain needs to be about the same exact thing. It could be in a shoulder niche. So for example, let's say that we'll just take Sir Links a lot. Our company, for example, I want to build a PBN backlink to our company, which is a link building agency, SEO. So, I could get an expired domain that's even in just a tech niche, or even in a business niche. Or it could even make sense if you have a mom blog that, she's talking about how she's becoming a blogger or something. You just have to think about how it would occur in the real world, and then you try to emulate that. And it doesn't have to be, so we're a link building agency. It doesn't mean that I need to find an expired domain that's just about link building or even about SEO. It can be about a bunch of these other things that is natural for them to link to a link building agency. And then just make sure that the content that you create is around that. So you could create an article about link building or ranking on Google or whatever. And then that could go on my business blog or my marketing blog or my tech blog, whatever. And then it can make sense, perfect sense to link out from that, right? Yeah, hopefully that helps. Bunch of PBN stuff there. Any questions at all, guys? Drop them in the chat. I think I only got a couple questions left here, so if y'all don't ask any questions, I'm gonna take off early. Doesn't matter if you think it's a beginner question, advanced question, whatever. Drop them in the chat. I'm here for 15 minutes and 45 seconds. All right. What strategies work for you when doing local SEO in 2024? Thanks. Yeah. So we kind of talked about this on some previous questions on the stream today. So for local SEO, I think the most important thing for local SEO is you want a GMB. You want that GMB to have reviews on it. And you want that GMB to be in a good location. Like you want it to be where people are searching from, very close to them, right? So proximity is like a really big thing with GMBs, right? Um, so, I guess what's changed is proximity has changed a lot. Proximity has got like a lot more important over the years. People used to be able to like rank like all over the city. Like we'd have a GMB location on like the west side of the city, and you'd be able to rank like downtown, east side, north, whatever. You'd be able to rank like all over the city with your one GMB because Google weighted other things more heavily. But now proximity is super important. Yeah, reviews super super important. Getting some good reviews, responding to your reviews, stuff like that. As far as like local SEO other stuff goes, the other stuff on your website is pretty normal. I'm not a fan of doing like big informational blogs on local SEO sites. I'd prefer doing like niche and location relevant blog posts, like we were talking about in the other questions on the stream. That'd be like, so if you're like doing like weddings, you'd be like, weddings are up 100% in Houston this year. So you're getting like niche and location relevance, right? Rather than just doing like, what is a wedding, or some stupid blog content like that no one cares about and that your business has no interest in posting. So yeah, I would keep the blog like local and or location and niche relevant. Of course, make sure you're doing things like getting your citations. Citations super easy but super important. NAP is name, address, and phone number. Getting your NAP consistency everywhere. I've seen a lot of people lately doing map embeds. So basically, when you're doing link building, you can do like map embeds on the blog post, like the guest post or whatever that you're doing. We actually just added this. So if you're interested in some PBN links, we're not doing on like guest posts or link insertions yet, at least, but on our PBN links, we can do GMB map embeds on there as well. What else I got for you? Yeah, of course, like normal link building, but in general, you usually don't need as much like normal, quote, normal link building when you're doing for local sites. The competition is just a lot lower. So when I'm linking to local sites, I tend to do even more homepage link building than normal, or at least like a higher percentage, right? Just linking a lot to your homepage, guest posts, link insertions, just a lot of natural anchors, branded anchors, URL anchors, generic anchors, a lot of branded. Branded's my favorite. Yeah, so those are pretty much like all the big things really. GMB, reviews, proximity for the GMB, citations, of course, some map embeds if you can. Not some weird informational blog, do like a mix like location and niche relevance on your blog. And then just normal, everything else is pretty like normal as far as SEO goes. Get a good internal linking, decent site structure, getting all your service pages, location pages, stuff like that. Not doing any weird stuff, right? But yeah, let me know if you guys think I missed anything. It's hard to kind of do a big checklist like this on a big general question off the cuff on a live stream, but hopefully that helps. Black Hole, what's up, man? Black Hole, ask me an SEO question, brother. You come in here, you're gonna start talking about video games. I know what you're gonna do. But ask me an SEO question, man. Test me. try to stump me. It's possible to stump me, by the way. I don't know. I'm definitely not the best SEO in the world. Shoot, where am I going? Here we go. Are Linkbait articles for local service businesses like pressure washing even possible? I understand the concept for niches such as business, SEO, etc. Yeah, so I'm not like a Linkbait pro. Let's see if I can think of one. I don't really do this very often, but let's see if I can think of one like right now. So okay, so pressure washing. Actually, what we're gonna do is, because AI is a lot smarter than me, we're gonna ask ChatGPT for some help live and see what we can get. I'm gonna copy and paste your question real quick. Let's go over here. So let's say create Linkbait article ideas for local service businesses like pressure for pressure washing. 20 ideas. Don't explain each one. See if 20 link. 10 shocking before and after photos of pressure washing transformations. So this is I feel like this is actually a good link bait because people like pressure washing for some reason. Like on Reddit and stuff, they even have that one they have that subreddit. I know that's where like there's just yeah, anyway, it's like oddly satisfying /r/oddly satisfying or whatever. This one, number 2, is not good. No, let's redo the prompt a little bit. We're going to say create link bait article ideas for pressure washing should also be relevant to Houston, be based on stats or facts. Because yeah, it's really good to use like stats or facts. Okay, so here's some like a little bit better ideas. Okay, I actually like some of these. All right, so number 1, why 80% of Houston homeowners are pressure washing annually. Houston rainfall statistics and the case for regular pressure washing. Okay, so like, stuff like this. So you're getting in like your location relevance. It's things that will be highly linkable from Houston or Texas based news websites, right? So you're really like drilling in this like really like local relevance. So I actually really like some of these ideas. How pressure washing can help Houston homes resist flood damage. Again, another good one, right? Because yeah, Houston's like always flooding. The connection between Houston's pollution levels and pressure washing needs. I feel like all of these are actually really good. You could do like link bait articles for every single one of these, and then do outreach or whatever. Reach out to journalists just like you would for a PR campaign. I'll go ahead and pop this prompt in the chat for you. What do you guys think about that prompt? But anyway, hopefully that helps. And I would say, yeah, it's possible just based on that. Ooh, shit. Whoops. Okay. Oh, cool. I thought I would have lost the stream, but I guess it let me come back to the stream. I accidentally like exited my browser. That's awesome though. Good to know I can make a big mistake like that and not lose the entire stream. All right. Any other questions at all, guys? Drop them in the chat. Black Hole says, I'm all SEO'd out, bro. I come here for shits and giggles. Yeah, we all get a little SEO'd out sometimes, don't we? All right, looks like I've got 7 more minutes, guys. Any questions at all, drop them in the chat. I think I've only got 1 or 2 left on my backlog, so. Has there been any confirmation or studies around how negative links, link spam impact rankings? Yeah, so I don't know. I can't think of a case study or something right off the top of my head, but I'm absolutely positive you can find some if you just Google that instead of asking in a Facebook group or whatever. But what I will also say about link spam is that for the most part, not all the part, but I feel like for the most part, Google is getting really good at just ignoring link spam, right? Like I feel like that Google probably ignores like 95% of link spam. Like they've gotten really good at it. So we're not big like disavow people. So in most cases we just say like ignore link spam. However, it depends like what you consider negative links or link spam. Now, if someone's doing like negative SEO and they actually do it smart and they drip the links over time, they're using like exact match anchors, they're hitting pages and they're actually making it look like an unnatural link building pattern rather than just kind of this like random crappy spam that a lot of people do, or even when they do negative SEO, a lot of times it's just really low effort, like real lazy, not very good. That gets ignored, but if they do it like correctly, they can definitely still have an impact. Essentially, if they're just making it look like they're doing like aggressive, unnatural link building to try to force like your rankings up, right? So, and another thing is, I wrote an article recently on these like k.html spam links that have been going around, and for whatever reason, I started seeing a lot of chatter about people worried about these things and disavowing them and seeing some better results. We actually had someone in our group recently who recovered from helpful content update, but he disavowed the k.html spam backlinks, but he also like did some other work on the website. And I've got another friend as well who had some success disavowing these k.html backlinks. So anyway, for whatever reason, sometimes every now and then Google doesn't ignore them, but for the most part they do ignore them. And they even ignore some links that, you'll go like be building links or whatever, and maybe you think you're building links, but maybe they're just not that good. Even a lot of like this like quote like spam, like things that you wouldn't even consider spam, a lot of time like Google can ignore like normal links as well. But yeah, also just being an MLB or being on having our link building agency, we have MLB, which is our managed link building service. Part of that is when people are applying to join the service, we audit their off-page SEO, we audit their backlinks. And a lot of the times, over the years, you just see these completely spammed out link profiles. And, so what we end up doing is we diversify away from this, and, we start building quality links. We usually build a higher number of low authority links to do this, because you're just getting a high number of natural links in. They're not very strong, not high authority, but they're not bad links. They're just weak. And so you're using this to get a high number of links to kind of try to counterbalance this high number of low quality links. We'll do a bunch of that. Then we'll start building more like mid to high authority stuff after that. And it usually takes a little bit of time, but after you give it a while, sites rankings start to increase again. So do I have a case study of the sites hurting the site? No, but I've seen it like literally hundreds, maybe even like thousands of times on these audits that we do. And I think we also have a link building recovery case study on our So Links a Lot blog as well. Let me check. It's been a long time since I've checked our case studies. Could probably do some new ones. The thing about case studies, they just take a long time to do. I have this recovering from bad backlinks case study that I wrote a while back. Let's check this out. It's this one right here. So if you go to our case studies page and just click this one, recover from bad backlinks. And we just walk you through the entire process month by month, what types of links we're building. So basically, they had a bunch of spam backlinks and their rankings just like weren't going anywhere. It's just like they were flatlined and they couldn't like do anything, right? And then eventually, why we didn't disavow month 2. Like this is so old. It's when the Ahrefs reports looked completely different. It's funny. Yeah, we should probably do some new case studies. But yeah, you can see, we start doing some quality link building after the spam, and you diversify a little bit and then you can recover from it, right? So not really a case in point for exactly what you're asking, but coming at it from a little bit of a different angle. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Okay, that's a big question from Josh here. Sorry, let me see. I'm not going to be able to put this all up on a question. I'll just put this up and I'll read the rest. A lifestyle site with 500 pages that goes from 6K to 100K search clicks per month over the last 4 months. 150 pages get at least 1 visit, but 5 new pages get 90% of traffic over the last 4 months. 1 new page last month on a topic completely disconnected from the site. Topic focus now gets 70% of traffic in the last month. What is the more credible HCU theory? Site-wide low-quality content theory, where all the low-quality pages get those 5 pages nuked. topic radius violation theory, where this one new page is such an outlier in the 5 high traffic. Wait, so did it get nuked? You didn't say anything about anything getting nuked. A lifestyle site with 500 pages goes 6K to 100K. It went up. Five new pages get 90% of the traffic. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm not really understanding your question here, Josh. One new page last month on a topic completely disconnected from the site. Now we get 70% of the traffic. So, just for me, when a site goes from 6K to 100K in 4 months, this is not normal. This is something that did not happen ever before AI content happened. So, like, okay, what's the possibility that this website is A, using AI content, or B, hired an amazing team of human writers and pumped out an insane amount of content in that 4 months? And if I had to put my entire life savings on it, I would say that they are using auto-generated AI content at scale, right? So, what are they getting nuked for? If I had to guess, it would be that, well, I don't know how they're monetized. I would guess that they're probably monetized with affiliate and ads. And I think there's probably also some kind of like trigger where, like, with like content velocity essentially. Okay, so it's ads-based website. What about all of the other pages? So no pages on the website are using AI? Zero? And I would say I would be very, very surprised if that one page that's unrelated had anything to do with it getting hit. They have super low content velocity. Okay. Unless they posted a bunch of content about that was off topic, then it could start getting weird. But if they only had one, I just wouldn't expect much from that. So yeah, it's getting 60% of their traffic. I mean, I guess it could be. I don't know. This is too weird. This is like there's too many weird things going on, and we're also in a weird time, and no one knows what the f they're talking about essentially. So like I could try to like pose my like theory on this, but the chance of me like getting this correct is going to be like super small, right? But if I had to guess, I mean, you said they had a low content velocity, but if they went 6K to 100K search clicks per month, that I feel like the content velocity is not going to be low. Like, why'd they start ranking all of a sudden? Why was their traffic so low and then it got to be so high? Were they not posting new content? Were they only building like new backlinks? The content already existed? Not really sure here. Um, but yeah, if I, yeah, my brain's melting too, man. But yeah, if I had to guess, I would. I feel just because of like all of the websites that I look at for this kind of stuff. Um, yeah, I see. But that's kind of normal in a lot of cases. There's a lot of websites where only like a small handful of pages get all of their traffic. That's not something new. That stuff's been kind of going on for a long time. Where yeah, just a few pages for whatever reason get like insane and others don't. That can happen naturally, and you don't get in trouble for it or something. Google just will decide to rank your site for some things and won't let you rank for other stuff. Um, but let's see here. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Yeah. Out of the two options, I'm just guessing it'd be more of like the site-wide low quality kind of thing. Because like I said, got hit with the HCU on the 15th. You mean the 15th of this month? The core update? Um, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I can't say that the other thing you're talking about couldn't happen, where it's like basically they're getting a lot of their traffic from an unrelated keyword. So now it's like, what is your website even about, bro? But I don't know. I feel like that's not the case. I feel like websites can rank about more than one thing, um, especially if they have a really good article. So, a case in point about this is basically like general sites like parasite websites and stuff like that. They rank about everything. And, you can, if your website has like good authority, and you can often like post content that you have no business in ranking, and you can rank for it pretty decently. So I would be much more on the line of some kind of site quality content check. And like you said, they're monetized with ads. So this is the real crime. This is the real thing they're getting penalized for, is because Google's, their scrutiny level for websites that are just affiliate or just ads or affiliate and ads is just through the roof right now. And I don't know how they're measuring this. I don't know why these other sites are recovering. It's going to take a while. I mean, it's been a year and no one has still figured it out yet. So we'll have to see like how these like recent recoveries go, if we can learn anything from there. But it's still early days on all this stuff. It's going to take a long time to really try to figure all this stuff out. But yeah, I would just say it's probably in conjunction of like low quality content mixed with them being their monetization methods, ads. I'd also like to say that I've seen a bunch of stuff recently where people post these things where they're like, "Oh, bro, look, AI content, copy and paste AI content is still working. Look, my website has gone from 0 to 1K traffic, whatever. The number is usually not high. It's usually like 1,000 or less. But they're like, look, the traffic's going up. Or maybe it's even over 1,000. Maybe it's even 5,000. But like, oh, look, it's been like this for 3 months. And so, it's only been 3 months. But I feel like what happens is, especially when the website starts getting good traffic, then it's like at that point, then Google says, okay, now we're actually going to really look at you. And then from there, maybe it's like 1 or 2 core updates, and then they lose all their rankings. So yeah, I'd be aware of anything where they're like a graph that's going like this, and they're like, oh, who said AI content doesn't work? It's like, okay, yeah, show us the graph in like 6 months from now, buddy. And if you're so confident about it, why don't you go spend a bunch of money on backlinks to this website? And the fact of the matter is, they don't going to do it because they know the site's going to get fucking popped. But anyway, been rambling a bit for a while on this now. That's a good question, though. Oh, Black Hole actually asked a question we can answer. Is any site recovering that didn't submit one of those stupid Google forms? And the answer is yep. No, there's a good amount. There's even people in our Facebook group that are posting recoveries, and these are not, we're not talking about like House Fresh. We're not talking about Travel Lemming, That Fit Friend, whatever. All these like famous big websites that complained a lot, that got hit, that are starting to see recoveries. Not talking about these. I'm talking about like random people that don't post their website or no one knows who they are. A decent amount of people are seeing these little recoveries, right? Are they full recoveries? Actually, one guy in our group says he got a full recovery, but he actually did like significant work as well. I think took a lot of content off of his website, reworked a bunch of it, built more backlink authority, disavowed a bunch of k.html spam backlinks. I was talking about him in a previous question as well. But yeah, there's a bunch of like random sites that are starting to recover. I actually just saw a post on this on Twitter. I think it was yesterday. Gail pretty much saying the same thing. I think he got mad because a lot of people, on Twitter, it's especially possible. Everyone's like, no one's recovering. It's only people that complained are recovering. And that's just not the case. There's a bunch of sites that are recovering right now, just from people that I've even just been talking to, right? So yeah, we're still early days on all this. As most of the websites that are showing recoveries are not full recoveries. It might even be like a 500% increase or like 1,000% increase in traffic, but it's still not, when you're coming from that low number and trying to get back to where they were before, it would take a considerable chunk more. But yeah, it's good. I'm just happy because it shows that at least Google has somewhat realized that what they did was too heavy-handed, right? Because I think it's kind of unfair of them to say that websites that are monetized with affiliate and ads basically shouldn't be able to rank for anything. But I kind of understand what they're trying to do, because a lot of people that have these websites are literally just gaming SEO. And you can cry about this all day, but you know for a fact you're trying to game SEO. You people, that have these content websites, you're writing these low competition keywords. You're trying to find any like little thing that you can to like optimize your page, build links, whatever. We all know we're gaming SEO. But the problem is that it's like random people writing about these subjects rather than someone that actually has like expertise on them. But that's not the case for everyone. And there's a lot of people that do have expertise, but just happen to be monetized with affiliate ads that are also getting hit, right? So anyway, not trying to piss people off, but we all know that a lot of these websites are a very high percentage of them are very like kind of low effort, low energy SEO plays. They saw a blog post of how they could make a side hustle or quit their 9-to-5 job or whatever, being a blogger and living on an island. So yeah, I understand what Google's trying to do, but I think what they did was too crazy. And I'm just happy that we're starting to see it roll back, and definitely seeing it roll back on more stuff than just the big websites. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take off. Hopefully you enjoyed the live stream and I answered some of your questions. Not sure if we'll be back next week or not, but yeah, take it easy.